Hey guys, Cosmic CTF here, and welcome to a brand new video where today we're doing something we haven't done before, and I want to call this like a report card kind of series. Basically what we're doing is we're taking a look at the last year's Call of Duty, and we're going to be basically looking at the pros and cons of it. And yeah, that means this year we're going to be doing it for Black Ops 4. Now, you've seen this on the 27th, so this means that this game is over a year old. Now, Black Ops 4 came out on the 12th of October 2018. Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out on the 25th of October 2019. So we are we're not well into, we're like 2 days into Modern Warfare's life cycle, and I thought it would be appropriate just to go back and have a little bit of a review of the pros and cons of Black Ops 4. Now, Black Ops 4 was a very divisive Call of Duty game, and it did do some things right, even though I personally fucking despise this game. I think this is probably one of the worst CODs that has been out in the last maybe 5 years, probably since Black Ops 2 actually. And it's just so bad, but there are good things that Black Ops 4 has done, and we're basically in this video, it's probably going to be a little bit of a longer one, but we're going to be going over all of the pros and cons of Black Ops 4. Now, as you know, Modern Warfare came out 2 days ago, so this game's life cycle is well and truly done. Treyarch did say it was going to be a 3-year game, but we've not seen any major updates, except, Operation Dark Divide or something they had recently. I can't be bothered going back and playing it, to be honest, but yeah, they did add something relatively new, but I think that is it for Black Ops 4 now. The game's going to be, like dead in the water, unless they're trying to make millions out of it still by milking everyone dry with supply drops. So, of course, we're going to start off with the positives first, because you want to hear some good stuff before you get on to what really makes this game probably the worst one since Black Ops 2. So, one of the things I actually did like about Black Ops 4, was the manual healing. Now, this is probably a little bit of a controversial one, and I like the manual healing in the context of Black Ops 4, basically. Like, if it was in Modern Warfare, I probably wouldn't like it as much, because Modern Warfare just feels like a classic Call of Duty experience, and I'd much rather have the automatic health regeneration there instead of having to whip out the bloody injection thing in Black Ops 4 and just stab it into my arm just to heal up. But yeah, in Black Ops 4, it added a lot of like tactical gameplay to it, so you couldn't just go in and expect yourself to heal after a gunfight. You actually had to trigger something, and the possibility that you'd just run out and get shot again if you forgot to heal up. I actually really like that. And occasionally you'd get some idiot that would just like forget, and you'd like go and shoot him in the face with the shitty pistol. What was it, the RK5? I can't even remember, but yeah, you'd shoot him in the face with a pistol and he'd just die instantly, and you'd be there laughing your head off. But yeah, that's one thing I really did like about Black Ops 4. It added a lot of tactical gameplay to it, especially in like hardcore and stuff. I found that really fun. But yeah, another thing I liked about Black Ops 4 was the slower time to kill. Now, this gives you a lot more, like, it's more reliant on gun skill instead of who can melt the quickest with, like, the ASM-1 in Advanced Warfare. But yeah, since it had a relatively slow time to kill with the 150 base health, you'd have to get a few more shots into them in order to kill them, which obviously that makes it one-shot weapons a lot harder to balance, but it made you need to think more on how many shots you'd have to actually get into that person before they drop, basically. And it added a lot of more tactical feeling to the gameplay, even though Black Ops 4 wasn't a very tactical game, because you'd have some guy's battery coming around with the fucking war machine and just destroying everything and clearing out hard points in like 5 seconds, which I'll get onto in a minute. But with the slower time to kill, it just made the game feel more fun. And holy shit, we're getting on to probably my favourite thing about Black Ops 4, and that is Blackout. So I'll admit it, when they first announced Blackout was coming to Black Ops 4, I was really skeptical. I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, why is Activision wanting so much money that they're just including a Battle Royale game? But what we got was actually a really solid experience from launch. Now, they've added in this like pay-to-win system apparently now, which just makes me never want to play it again, because why would you do that, Activision? I mean, I know exactly why you'd do it, because you want more money, you greedy bastards. But yeah, basically, Blackout, what we got in the beta and then what we got in the full game were very different, but they were so fun. In the Blackout beta, I had an absolute whale of a time playing that game. I didn't actually make any videos on it on my old channel, but I just kind of chilled out and played it to myself, and I was like, oh my god, this is one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. Like, the gunplay, the perfect blend of just scavenging for stuff, and then you'd get the action of fighting someone and the intense that, oh my god, this could be my only life. And yeah, it gave me a lot of fun times, Blackout, getting all the kills, getting some nice sniper kills, being the last ones that I actually did win a few games, and the gameplay you're actually seeing here, I did win. So Blackout was probably my favourite aspect of Black Ops 4, because it made the game so much fun, and even if it did come in the place of a campaign, I did think Blackout was probably the best and saving grace of Black Ops 4. So the final thing I liked was the community challenges they had like once. Now, basically, if you don't remember, Activision added the G-Rav assault rifle into the game, which is basically the Galil, that's it. And it was a great gun. I absolutely loved using it in Black Ops 4. It was probably my favourite assault rifle that they ever gave us, and I just had so much fun with it. I loved it back in Black Ops 1, and I loved it in Black Ops 4 as well. It was decent in Black Ops 2 Zombies, I think. And yeah, it was just amazing how they gave us. They gave us this community contract, which is basically the community comes together on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and they have to complete this challenge. I think it was to get something like 200,000 games played or something. No, sorry, 200 million games played. Something like that. And we actually did it, and we all got the G-Rav assault rifle, and yeah, that was just great. Activision, if you ever want to give us weapons by doing stuff like that again in Modern Warfare, like, please do. It's probably the best thing you've ever given. Probably the best thing they've ever done, sorry. Yeah, that wasn't meant to happen. I just randomly started yawning. But yeah, I'm pretty sure with the recent news that we're going to be able to work to get things with the Battle Pass in Modern Warfare, this could actually mean that community contracts may return for some, like, cool camos like they did in Black Ops 3. Or potentially just weapons like they did in Black Ops 4, which could actually be really fucking cool if they did that. Okay guys, so we finally got to the point what you've all been waiting for, and that's the negatives of this game. Now, I have a lot of bones to pick with this game. I have over 9 points that I could think of off the top of my head last night that would potentially give things I do not even like at all in Black Ops 4. And now, if this stuff is what makes me hate the game, so let's just jump straight into it. So we have the stim shot crutch. Now basically, if you don't remember, pretty much everybody in Black Ops 4 runs the stim shot. Now basically you have a regular just heal pack for the manual healing, and then you have the stim shot, which basically allows you to shoot while you're healing up, I think, and it basically makes it so your health just goes straight up. And everybody used this in Black Ops 4. I didn't, because I thought it was exactly like this, a crutch perk, and I thought I was cool. I ran the one that makes score streaks like 1 point less, because, you know, I've always thought that the UAV has been overpriced, so I always ran the one that made it like 3 instead of 4, which, yeah, instead a lot of people were running the stim shot, and it basically made it so that it was a crutch perk, not crutch perk, a crutch equipment, meaning that everybody had it and you had to have it, otherwise you'd be at a disadvantage to everyone. And that is where manual healing failed, that one was quicker than the other and everybody ran it, and it became a crutch perk, and you were at a physical disadvantage if you did not run the stim shot. Now, the second point I have is to do with the amount of weapons that were in the game when the game first came out. Now, I think they've added about 6, maybe 7 new weapons to this, so it is going to be a lot high. Well, it's actually not even going to be that high when now even to this day. But when the game came out, there was 27 weapons in the game, 20 primary guns and 7 secondaries, which is absolutely appalling. Only 20 primary guns to choose from is absolutely abysmal. So I'm going to say this, that Modern Warfare, from what we know, has 37 weapons compared to Black Ops 4 27. I'd say 37 is, you're getting there. You know, we want a lot of gun variety. So Black Ops 4 had 27, Modern Warfare has 37, and that includes both primaries and secondaries, but that's absolutely awful, to be fair. If you're looking at Modern Warfare, which is, you know, people have been saying, oh, well, that's a decent amount of guns, but we could have more, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have more. They're probably going to have some that surprise us or something like that. But that just makes you look at Black Ops 4 and think, what the fuck were they doing there? Why is there so little guns, there's so little content in that game? It's just abysmal, and it makes people turn off from the game. It made me not want to play it, because I was like, well, there's nothing to play unless I want to get killed by some other idiot with a purifier or a gravity slam another 60 times, which was another thing I didn't like about the game. But, you know, we'll get into that in a minute. And now we're going to the lack of post-launch support. Now, this could have a really good reason for it, but I'm not sure if it's true, because it is, at the end of the day, only a leak. Now, earlier this year, we had a leak from somebody that said they worked inside of Activision. I actually made a video of it on my old channel talking about it, but they said that Black Ops 5 was in turmoil because it was being developed by Raven Software instead of Sledgehammer, because it usually goes Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and then Sledgehammer, but Sledgehammer games have been taken out of the development cycle now. This means that Raven were going to develop 2020's Call of Duty, but now they've had it handed over to Treyarch, and now they're making it into Black Ops 5, even though they only have 2 years to make the game. Now, COD's back on a 2-year development cycle, apparently, with Raven Software and Sledgehammer Games assisting the two main developers, and it's just, that's put the studio into absolute turmoil. They're throwing stuff together, apparently. I've heard some leaks recently that the game is still in this absolutely abysmal state, which is not good, is it, considering it's releasing next year? But who knows? They are only leaks at the end of the day. But yeah, because of this, Treyarch have had to take so much staff off Black Ops 4 and make it so they're working on Black Ops 5, and they're not supporting Black Ops 4 post-launch, which makes it just absolutely just a dead game. Like, they get updates to Blackout, no problem, but multiplayer, you can go months sometimes. Well, you've gone like 3 months sometimes without a content update, and it's just absolutely horrific. And I don't know, it just makes everybody turn off the game because there's no new content, there's nothing new to play, there's no new guns. Well, there are, but they're locked behind supply drops, which we'll get to in literally like 5 seconds, and nobody can use them. But also the maps are all basically just revamps of existing maps, which I'll also get into in a bit. But moving on now, we're on to microtransactions, and bloody hell did they fuck this up. Right, so Black Ops 4 launched, and they had a decent monetization system. They had the battle passes, which basically you could grind the hell out the game, and you'd get the content. Like, you'd get the 2 new weapons you want, and I actually did skip a few tiers, because you could pay COD points to skip tiers, and I paid that because I thought, well, you know, this is a good monetization system, and we should support it. Show Activision that this is the sort of thing we want. And finally they've listened to us with Modern Warfare, but who knows what's going to happen later down the line. I don't 100% trust them, but, you know, they've got the word. They can actually be sued if they go against that. But honest to God. So they had these battle passes, and eventually they started giving us weapon bribes, which I was okay with. And I was like, okay, yeah, you can still get the weapons at the end of the battle pass, but then they started putting them in reserves, these weapons, and these weapon bribes which wouldn't work, and you can never get the weapons you want unless you were lucky. And we were just like, oh my god, how can you make such an alright system into something that bad? It was just abysmal by the end of it, and I think they had the M16 and all other fan favourite weapons put into supply drops where the only way to get them was to be lucky, instead of getting these weapon bribes, or even better, just getting the weapons outside of the battle pass. So every now and then Treyarch will give us these new maps, which were basically just weather variants of existing maps. So we got like, I think it was Hurricane Contraband, and we got like Storm Surge Jungle, and then obviously the worst one was Hacienda Twilight. Oh my god, that map was just awful. Now, Hacienda was actually a decent map. I did enjoy it, but Hacienda Twilight just basically turned down the gamma by 50%, or maybe even 75%. I could hardly see anything indoors. You were just sat there and you're like, well, I can't see shit, whereas everyone, you get shot in the face and then you're like, oh, well, he was over there. Couldn't see him because it was pitch black inside. And I don't know how at Treyarch they made such abysmal lighting decisions, but oh yeah, let's just make it pretty much pitch black inside and, you know, quite light outside, and it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that map is just terrible. And they have the nerve to say that is new content and new maps to play when all you do is get a shitty time of day change, and it basically makes the map unplayable. Like, every time I would see that map, I'd just back out because it was that terrible. And another thing to do with the maps in the game was that we were boring and unpredictable. If you think about it, Hacienda, 3-lane map, absolutely no variation. Apart from, I will say that, the wall that opens up. Gridlock, I think it was called. It was like a Japanese highway, which was probably my favourite map in that entire game. Was very predictable 3-lane map. And that was the thing for all of Black Ops 4. They were all predictable 3-lane maps. And I thank God that with Modern Warfare we're getting a little bit of variety. Like, some of them aren't 3-lane, some of them are, which I'm not inherently wrong. There's nothing inherently wrong with 3-lane maps. It's just they've become boring, unpredictable, when all that's in the game are these 3-lane maps. You're just like, oh wow, another 3-lane map. Oh wow, another one. Yeah, basically you get the picture now. And these new not even these new maps, the maps were so boring. Like Contraband, it was a nice idea, and it was a pretty good map. It had some decent fish AI, but yeah, it was just so boring. After like an hour, you'd get bored of playing them. Like, I think it's 2 days playtime in Black Ops 4, which is absolutely nothing, because I stopped playing the game halfway through. I had some 5 days playtime in Call of Duty World War II, because I enjoyed that game so much. I know it had a really rocky start, but towards the end it really picked up. I will say that. If you guys haven't been to play it, go back and play it. And it was just, like, these maps were just so fucking boring. It made me not want to play the game. Along with the lack of content, just made me never want to even boot up the game. I uninstalled it from my Xbox and I've never played it again. But yeah, also, another point that I want to address in this video is the fact that the graphics are fucking awful. Now, if you look at Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 side by side, Black Ops 3 looks better. I'm sorry, Black Ops 3 came out 4 years ago, and it still looks better than a game that came out a year ago, and I just cannot get over that. The game's just... And Black Ops 3 is about 1,000,000 times better. I know it had that terrible microtransaction system, but it was still a good game. I enjoyed Black Ops 3. It was probably one of the best ones we've seen since Black Ops 2. And I would say Black Ops 3, World War 2, and then I don't know after that. I want to do ranking every COD from best to worst or something like that. But yeah, the graphics were just horrific. They looked like Black Ops 3 on the Xbox 360. That's genuinely how bad it was. But Obviously, that was a joke, a little bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, moving on. Zombies. Now, where can we even begin with this? I'm not a zombies player. I've played Black Ops 4 Zombies like once, and it was horrific, so I never played it again. They raised the base health to like 200, which was shit, because they completely annihilated Juggernog, which was one of the best perks, because they said they didn't want it to become a crutch perk, which it was, but then again, and now they have these, like, you can pick 4. I don't even know how Black Ops 4 Zombies works, but it's just not as fun. You don't have all the perk machines on the map, you only have 4, and it's just not fun anymore. They've taken the fun out of Zombies, the maps are becoming boring, the storyline was just drawn out. It should have ended with the last, what was it called? I can't even remember. It was Revelations, I think, in Black Ops 3. It should have just ended with that, to be fair. And yeah, I would have been absolutely happy with that, like, completely. And the final thing that I want to mention in this video, and they thought we'd forgotten about it, but no we haven't. That's the Black Ops Pass. Oh my god, how did they think this was a good idea? Right, the intention was that it wouldn't split the player base up, because you can't buy DLC packs, like, just one by one. You have to buy the Black Ops Pass so you can get all of them. And you're just like, well, that's a bit of a rip-off, because it's like 50 quid just for this few maps, which I'm pretty sure I've not even seen them or heard that they've even released it. And you get all these maps, supposedly, and all this content, but it's really just a waste of money. And with the DLC, like, pass, or the season pass, like, model, it's just so outdated. That's why Battlefield had us all at the start, even though Battlefield 5 was probably worse than Black Ops 4. But basically, they had us at first, because there was no DLC in Battlefield 5, but then Black Ops 4 still has these map packs, and all the maps in the map packs were fucking terrible. Like, they weren't even playable. You'd literally uninstall them and go back and play the base game because it was so bad. Anyway, guys, that has been my review or my report card of Black Ops 4. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe. Be sure to turn notifications on so you never miss a video by me. Overall, though, I do maybe rate Black Ops 4 like a 4 out of 10, maybe a 3.5. Because it did do some good things, but it's massively overshadowed by the bad things, which I'd still say it's not the worst Call of Duty game in the series, however. That goes to Infinite Warfare. I genuinely get depression whenever I play that game, but let's not talk about that. I wanted to save that for a top 10 video or whatever. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video here. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.